waterfront bristled with guns as the United States moved against Russian missile bases on that island fortress. When U.S. planes spotted Russian rocket installations, a quarantine was thrown up around the island to blockade war materials. Cuba put 100,000 men under arms in fear of an invasion. It was final proof that Castro was but a Soviet puppet taking orders from Moscow. U.S. planes flying over Cuba brought back the evidence that moved the Organization of American States to vote unanimously to back the U.S., and the Western allies followed. This was the red duplicity that was unmasked and brought an ultimatum from President Kennedy.
Shall be the policy of this nation to regard any nuclear missile launched from Cuba against any nation in the Western Hemisphere as an attack by the Soviet Union on the United States, requiring a full retaliatory response upon the Soviet Union.
U.S. naval might sealed off the island, and only food and other non-military supplies were allowed to pass. Ambassador Adlai Stevenson addressed the UN Security Council.
Mr. President, I am submitting today a resolution to the Security Council designed to find a way out of this calamitous situation.
Russia's Zorine, upper right, refused to acknowledge the evidence. Mr. Stevenson continued.
This resolution calls as an interim measure under Article 40 of the Charter for the immediate dismantling and withdrawal from Cuba of all missile and other offensive weapons.
Russian troubleshooter Mikoyan was sent to placate Castro. The Soviets backed down in the face of U.S. determination, dismantled their missiles, and shipped them home. It was the retreat to Moscow. U.S. planes and picket ships accounted for 42 rockets, but Castro refused to give up the bombers the Reds had shipped to Cuba. For days, this critical point went unresolved, while behind the scenes, the Russians pulled the strings on its puppet, Castro. From the Kremlin came a message directly to President Kennedy.
I have today been informed by Chairman Khrushchev that all of the IL-28 bombers now in Cuba will be withdrawn in 30 days. He also agreed that these planes can be observed and counted as they leave.